This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your source for the latest Iowa ag news headlines right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, Mark Magnuson, and Andy Peterson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Riley.
Good day and welcome to Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Today is Monday, June 30th of 2025, and we are so glad you can join us for today's show. In today's episode, I have some bonus content from last week's episode of Food Bank Friday. Of course, if you haven't seen that yet, I talked with the Executive Director of Urban Dreams, Izaah Knox. We had quite the long conversation, had to cut quite a bit of it to get it to the runtime that I wanted for that. So today we're going to have a bonus of that conversation. They talk not only about the food pantry, but the other services they provide at Urban Dreams. Also have a check of the closing markets with Sam Trainor of agmarket.net. That will include a look at the quarterly grain stocks and acreage report. But first, here is that conversation with Izaah Knox.
Well, our mission statement is just kind of complicated. So there's our tagline, is here to help. Urban Dreams has been here to help for 40 years, since 1985. Literally, our 40th birthday was like 2 weeks ago. And over time, when we started, we were just an organization that was open from 6 to 11 at night, had heat in the winter, had air conditioning in the summer, always had hot coffee, had a TV, a telephone. We were a mailing address for people. And we just started to listen to the community. What do you need? What do you need? How can we help? So we started to create programs to help people. And then we became a substance abuse organization because we knew people were struggling with addiction. So we started helping them. We had one of the longest NA meetings in the area here at our office. Actually, the longest in the area, one of the longest in the state, is here at Urban Dreams. Been here for 40 years. We have a food pantry that grew out, again, the necessity, and that's what we're going to talk about, but a mental health counselor. We partnered with Broadlaws to bring in a mental health counselor to help with the dual need of diagnosis of mental health and substance abuse for people self-medicating. We expanded statewide multiple times, big and down, whatever happens in need. We do youth employment stuff because we think that we're good mentors and good role models in the community for youth to aspire to be like someday, or we can help them to get networked and connected out to other organizations. And that's how really our food bank established as one of the ones that had the lowest barrier of entry and always accessible to anybody. And we don't make anybody feel, terrible for coming. It's all about dignity and respect. You come in, you get food. We help you if you want other services. If you don't, doesn't matter. You're not beholden to anything. We don't even take your name, right? We just ask you some questions that we have to ask, but it's all anonymous information that just goes into a database, and we send over the numbers to the people that want the numbers, and we keep serving food.
Absolutely.
And now over 2,000 visits a month.
And that's so huge when it comes to donating food and like fighting food insecurity. Is it takes so much mentally to go, okay, I'm finally ready to admit I need help. I'm going to come in, I'm going to finally do it, and I'm going to go get the help that I need. There's a lot of people who just suffer. I mean, they're too, worked up, afraid to go in and make that step to say, hey, I need help. But having that low barrier for entry, it doesn't matter, people want to say politically, people want to say, any other reason. If you're hungry, you need food.
You need food. And, what about fraud and all that stuff? Listen, if you are, like you just said, the anxiety, the dignity, the pride, the fear, the whatever that is, if you're going to try to overcome all those things to scam a food pantry, what is it, less than 1%? I mean, okay. They got an extra bread, right? That's fine. Because the other 1,999 people were here because they needed it desperately, and they overcame all those things to come here to actually help feed themselves or their family. Because some people are one, some people are two adults, some people are families of six. One person, two parents, and 5, 6 kids, or 3 kids, or whatever. One parent, 3 kids, right? We get them all kinds.
That again was Izaah Knox, the Executive Director of Urban Dreams here in Des Moines. We'll take a look at the closing markets next, but first, here's a word from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soy Checkoff. This is Ag Matters PM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net.
Welcome back to Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, and we're here now with Sam Trainor of agmarket.net to take a look at the closing market summary. Sam, we had the quarterly grain stocks and acreage report today. A bit of a nothing burger. What do we see going on in the grains?
Hey, you took the words right out of my mouth, Riley. I was going to use that as well because nothing changed here today. Really, just very slight reductions to corn acreage and soybean acreage. Kind of surprising a little bit to see both corn and soybeans come down on their planted acreage estimates from what we saw back in March. But 95.2 million acres for corn, 83.4 for beans. No real big surprises there. On the stock side of things, corn stocks at 4.6 billion bushels. Soybeans were a little bit above the estimates, just over 1 billion bushels there. But as I said, and you mentioned there's really not a whole lot to move the market here today. Kind of a letdown for a lot of folks because we've kind of been waiting for this report for quite a while. And usually this is one that institutes quite a bit of volatility and price action. And we did not have any of that today here. We hung right around unchanged for most of the trading session here.
Then, of course, you mentioned that acreage number is probably being the biggest surprise in that it wasn't a surprise. But I know the estimates were looking at kind of an increase slightly, at least to the corn, since we did not see that or we're expecting to see that further down the road for USDA reports. I mean, I know that's hard to predict, but not sure exactly what they're kind of assuming there.
Yeah, of course. Our team here at Ag Market, we projected 95.8. So we were looking for a slight increase up from 95.3 is where it was at back in March. And that just goes back to you look all the spring and summer. Kind of the talk has been that acres are going to increase here, and the fact that we didn't see that, you would think would be maybe a little bit bullish here, or maybe not so much bullish, but maybe we've at least found some footing here, because even with that number here today, we only lost a penny or two on the market here, so. Maybe we're getting to a point here where we're maybe putting in some base of lows, and then if we can get into some sort of weather story here, that could push us along further down the line.
And then looking at the livestock side of things, I know they had some reports to react to on Friday. How did those markets trade today?
Feeder cattle market was the big mover today. They were up almost $3 on the feeder cattle, so a good price action there. They've been taking a little bit of a breather compared to what we've been used to over the last 6 months here with those cattle markets going higher. But looks like we're getting back on track here today with that move higher. And then on the hog side of thing, it was kind of the opposite story. They were down pretty hard here. August hogs finished the day down almost $3 there. So kind of vice versa action there between the cattle and hogs.
All right, Sam, lots of great information today. For anyone who would like to get in touch with the team at agmarket.net for more marketing information, how can they do that?
Best way would be to visit our website at agmarket.net and click on Intel. That'll get you access for 30-day free trial to our app and email services that we send out with our weekly newsletters and that sort of thing. Or you could just simply give us a call here in Normal, and we'd be happy to help you out. 1-800-779-1515.
All right, Sam, thanks again for your time as always, and we look forward to speaking again soon.
Thanks, Riley. Appreciate the time.
That again was Sam Trainor of agmarket.net. We'll take a look at how the numbers close through the market window at iowaagnet.com.
July corn up 3 even at 4.20 and a half. July soybeans down 3.5 at 10.24 and a quarter. July soybean meal up 20 cents at 271.30. Soybean oil up 6 cents at 52.51. Chicago wheat up 4 even at 5.28 and 3/4. Kansas City hard red wheat down 10 even at 5.06 even. Minneapolis spring wheat up 4 cents at 6.12. July oats up 1.5 at 3.86 and 3/4.
On the Merc, August live cattle up 57 cents at $213.87. August feeders up $2.77 at $310.67. Lean hogs down $3.15 at $110.10. Pork cutout down $1.22 at $120.32. And July Class 3 milk up 19 cents at $17.75. That's been checking the markets here on Ag Matters PM, and that also brings us to the end of today's show. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. Also follow us on social media at Facebook, X, LinkedIn, and TikTok, and find our video content as well as previous episodes of AM PM on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell to see when those videos go live. Don't forget as well our free morning, midday, and closing market podcasts, as well as the Iowa Ag Matters podcast and Pots Potential. Find those on your favorite podcasting services at Apple, Amazon, Spotify, and Podbean. From the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network studios in Des Moines, I'm Riley Smith. On behalf of Ashton Jolly, Mark Magnuson, Andy Peterson, and Dustin Huffman, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.